What's up, YouTube? Cheese here. Welcome to The Platinum Plays. This is a YouTube series where the public asks a question relating to Siege strats, tips, and tricks. I then do my best to answer. If you have a question you would like answered, please leave it in the comments below or send me a Facebook or Twitter message. So today's question comes from REX again. It's going to be a continuation of the first comment he had, which was asking for mirror tips and tricks. And he also asked for Hibana tips and tricks. But I also got a question from Olshin, who asked for Maverick. So I'm just going to cover Hibana, Maverick, and Thermite in this video. I figure, you know, if I'm already covering two hard reachers, I might as well get all of them. So first we're going to start with Hibana. Here we are in Oregon. If you've ever played this map in Ranked, you know that this hatch over here is extremely important for your push down into Laundry. And I would just like to cover the best way to kind of counter someone Cade trapping this hatch, right? So since the release of Cade, the Cade trap has been pretty game-changing, I would say, and especially combined with a ban phase, because you can ban Thatcher. But if they don't ban Thatcher, here's the strategy that you can do to get this hatch open every time. So if this hatch is not already electrified, right? So say there's no Cade on here, you're just going to shoot your Hibana straight onto it, right? If there is a Cade on here, obviously you're going to need to Thatcher it first. So first, Thatcher's going to toss a Thatcher. It's going to get rid of the Cade. Then you shoot your Hibana charges. As you start blowing it, Thatcher's going to throw his next EMP. And you have to make sure that he doesn't wait too long, right? He has to throw it, like basically as you shoot your Hibana charge, he has to throw his EMP. So that way, the Cade who's going to be standing probably on this table, just holding a Cade in his hand, if his first Cade gets blown off, he's going to take out his next and most likely throw it on the wall. Or if he hears your Hibana pellets hit this ceiling, he's going to throw it on the roof right here. And if the EMP is already inbound, right? So if the EMP is already being thrown as you shoot your next set of Hibana pellets, it will get rid of the Cade before it can fully electrify this hatch, and you have nothing to worry about. So you'll be able to get that hatch open, you'll be able to push down the Laundry. Eventually you'll probably want to go into Meeting Hall, get the other hatches, whatever you want to do. But it's a good combo to run Thatcher basically with any hard reacher except for Maverick. Maverick doesn't really need a Thatcher. It's not really bad, to have him, but it's not really necessary. And I just wanted to start with this kind of demonstration because, one, it's extremely important for Ranked, and two, it's a great opportunity to show you guys Hibana's greatest probably ability, which is being able to hard breach from cover. So you can pretty much stand all the way back here, and as long as you're decent with your Hibana pellets and your Hibana shots, you can kind of you can kind of hard breach from safety. Whereas if this were Thermite or Maverick, you would have to be standing right up here on this hatch, cutting it open, or placing a Thermite charge on the wall or exothermic charge, and you're exposed when you're doing this. Whereas Hibana can do it from a distance. She's safe. She's not going to get C4'd. Say if you were playing on a different map where people like to C4 from below, you don't have to be like Thermite, run up to the wall. You can shoot it from outside and be safe. And that's probably her greatest ability, which sometimes people don't take advantage of, right? Sometimes if there's a wall they want blown, say you want this wall blown, they're going to walk right up to it and shoot it from right here, which is fine if you're safe, right? If you have all your flanks covered and whatever, perfect, go for it. But if you don't, which most of the time a lot of people don't, do it from cover, right? You can do it from this angle. Now the only way you can get shot is from behind you or the ceiling. Like, it's so much safer. So just something to think about when you're playing as Hibana. Try and be safe with her. A lot of times you can do like an upside down rappel on a window and shoot a hatch from above, and then you don't even have to go in the building. Yes, you're risking your pellets getting shot off, right? So your pellets could get shot off and then you're kind of screwed because you have to do it again. But if you've done your droning and you know no one's there, it's okay. You can shoot your pellets, you'll most likely be safe. And even if they do get shot off, at least it's your pellets getting shot and not you, right? Because your life is more important than, say, your ability. Not always, because, you know, some support players, they just need to get a wall open, and if they die, whatever, that's fine. They just need to get their job done. But in most cases, your life is going to be more important, especially because you have 3 of these Hibana kind of X Kairos that you can shoot, 3 sets of them. So even if your first ones get shot off, that's not worth your life. But anyways, we're going to head over to a different map. I'm going to get into the different types of holes you should make on like a big wall, like a large garage wall or whatever with Hibana, and their benefits and pros and cons and yeah, all that. But let's head over there. Alright, so here we are in Consulate. One of the biggest maps I would say for hard breaching. It can be extremely important, especially if you're attacking garage. Probably really just garage. It's about the only site it's super important for. But so there's different holes, right, that you can make with Hibana, right? You can shoot one hole down, or one set of X Kairos down. Just make a kill hole. Obviously you can't vault through this. You can't run through it. If you put it at the bottom, you could lay down and crawl through it, but that's risky, man. That's super risky. Not a great idea. But there's a lot of other things you can do, right? If you put, say, one set down of X Kairos at the bottom, another a little bit higher above that, you can make a crouch hole, correct? And some of the benefits to having a crouch hole is, you can walk in, smoke, plant, turn around, and turtle plant this, right? If you really wanted to.
The diffuser is now secure.
But I would say that's not a great idea for specifically this attacking this garage, because there's a lot of angles you're exposed to, and if you make one little hole, one little crouch hole, and you try and turtle plant in it, you're probably going to get destroyed. So if I was attacking Consulate and I only had a Hibana, I didn't have a Thermite or another hard breacher, what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a vault hole. I'm going to make a vault hole on the right side. So over here, obviously you're going to make sure that this isn't being bandit trapped or K-trap or anything like that. And now when I'm shooting these X Kairos pellets down, after I shoot my first set, then I just move my crosshairs up, line up this bottom kind of red triangles right here. I line that up with the top of the other X Kairos, right? As straight as you can get it. And, oh my god. Shit, sorry. Forgot I'm playing tactical realism. I have to reload. Okay. Shoot another one. Now blow it. And this should make a nice little vault hole. Obviously, if you're playing in ranked or whatever, this would most likely be reinforced. But there we go. So now we have a vault hole here. Now the reason I'm putting a vault hole instead of a crouched is for this right here. So I can vault in and out fast, right? It's faster than, say, going in crouched. Because when you're going in crouched, this is probably one of the slowest ways you can move around besides laying down. Laying down is slower, but if you're going crouched, it's fairly slow too. You're going to be pretty exposed. And the reason I want to have a vault hole is so I can go in and out quickly, right? If I don't have a Thermite, right? If you're attacking this site, you'd preferably have a Thermite, but you can still get this job done with Hibana. So I'm going to put down this vault hole, and I'm going to put a kill hole. This is a tough decision because you can put it up higher and you can see more people behind, say, like the white van and yellow pillar and all that. But if you put it up higher, then someone could stay crouched below it, which is dangerous. So I'm going to try and put it at kind of like a middle height, right? So that I can see people in the back, and so that I can see, or that I can make sure that nobody's going to be crouched on this left side over here. So I'm going to put it about right there. Let's see how that looks. Should be about where I want it to. Yeah, this is decent. So if you're vaulting in here, if someone wants to play close on the wall, they're going to have to play up against the cement. They're not going to be able to play here because they're going to be exposed, right? And you can also shoot people through this. So from here, you're going to be able to see people who peek the white side, or peek the side of white van, peek behind yellow pillar, even peek pipes or yellow stairs. So this is a nice kill hole to have just so that you can give people cover who are vaulting in and out. If you're running, so if you're running like a Montag, say you're running a Montag and you want to make sure he can get in the garage, I would then make this a 3x Kairos, so all 3 sets going from bottom to top all in a row, right? So it's basically a Thermite charge at that point when you put all 3x Kairos, because if you have a Monty, you want him to be, his shield to be fully extended, and you want him just to be able to walk into sight so he's safe, right? If he can walk in with his shield fully extended, he's so much safer than if he has to come in crouched or has to come in vaulting, right? That's never good to have to make your shield have to vault. because they're super exposed during that vault animation. Anyway, so I would do a 3 X Kairos if you have a Montag, just so that you can walk in the site safely, you can smoke and plant. Now, the only things you have to worry about, though, when you do this, is now there's not going to be a hole here, right? So there won't be a hole here, so someone can play close, and there's not going to be much that you can do about that. I mean, obviously you can have the Monty come in, turn left, then his back is exposed here. It's risky, right? Preferably on this site, you would like to have a Hibana, or you'd also like to have a Thermite or some sort of other hard breacher, so you can just open up this wall larger. But Hibana can still get the job done. And the benefits, like I've said, vaulting is faster than a crouched hole, but a crouched hole you can turn around and turtle plant. A really good spot for that would probably be on bank. Actually, you know what? I'll just go to that map after this. I wasn't going to, but I will. So let's head over there really quick. Okay, so here we are in Clubhouse. This is the last kind of Hibana tip / trick / strategy that we're going to cover, and then we're going to move on to Maverick. So last thing, what I talked about earlier with this upside down rappel. As you guys know, Hibana can hard breach from safety, and this is probably one of the safest kind of ways you can blow this hatch, because you can't get C4'd from the Pulse we'll be playing down below, or the Valkyrie, or whatever. Really nice way to get that hatch open, but something that you're going to see in the higher ranks is people actually blowing out the floor right below these metal like table, trays, desks, whatever the hell this is. They're going to blow out the floor down here, right? They shoot that out, and then they're going to throw impact nades right here at the bottom, and the blast radius will actually shoot off or blow off your Hibana that you shoot onto this hatch. Right, it's a really good way to counter a Hibana or anything like that. So something you're going to want to do, as you guys can see, I'm running breaching charges just to kind of demonstrate what you can do to counter this. So put down your breaching charges, you open the floor. You're going to want to get as much as this floor open as possible. And if you are playing Hibana, you can switch to breaching charges, but I would more likely suggest someone else doing this for you. So, for example, maybe run a buck, or run a sledge, or a ying. Someone else who can blow open this floor, and just so you don't have to expose yourself, right? Because like I said before, Hibana's big ability is that she can hard breach from safety. And if you're running around on this floor, hard breaching, you might get C4'd, you might get shot through the floor, anything could really happen. So have somebody else do this, but if you're playing by yourself, if you're solo queuing, or if you're playing with teammates who just don't really like to play smart, which can happen quite often, then I would run breaching charges, try and open up this floor as much as possible. Put breaching charges over here, maybe put breaching charges over here, just so that you can see underneath this hatch, right? Because you're gonna have to bait this impact trap. So what I would do is I would shoot down my Hibana, and then try and shoot these people through the floor before they can throw their impact. It's not a great way to counter this. It's much better having another teammate to help you out, but it is a counter, right? It is something that could work, and if you find yourself in a position where you have to do this on your own, this is probably the best way to do it. So we've got our Hibana or X Kairos down. Normally, you know, if I had a teammate in there blowing the floor for me, I would have shot that from the upside down rappel over here so that I could stay safe, because I want to save my other X Kairos either for the other hatches or for some other walls, something like that. I don't want to die. So anyways, we shoot those down. If you are blowing this floor and you know you still are worried about getting these impact trapped, which is smart, I would run a ying or a fuse, something like that, because what you can do is you can put a fuse charge like right up here in this corner on the floor, or you could put a candela right up here, and then anybody who's going to be playing down below will be blind, or they'll have to run away because the fuse is going off. The fuse charge also going off could cover the sound of your X Kairos going down on the hatch, and then they won't even hear it. So they'll be running away, they won't hear it, and they won't have time to throw their impact to get it off. So just a way to counter it. This is the last tip I wanted to cover for Hibana. the upside down rappel, and to counter the impact traps, which is not something that you have to worry about on every map. It's pretty situational and specific to certain bomb sites, but I just figured this would be good to cover. Now we're going to head over to Maverick, and we're going to cover his tips and tricks, guys. Alright, so now here we are on bank. So I wasn't going to cover this, but like I just said, I want to show you guys the crouch hole turtle plant thing that I'm talking about. So obviously this wall will probably be reinforced. You're going to want to shoot one Hibana down at the bottom, another one a little bit farther up above it. You're going to line up your little red lines. Make sure you reload. Oh my god. Keep forgetting to reload. Make sure you reload. Line up your red lines. Shoot another set of X-Kairos. These ones are lined up perfectly because I'm awesome. And then this is going to blow that crouch hole that I was talking about earlier. The hole that I wouldn't necessarily make on Consulate, but here on Bank, because turtle planting here is extremely powerful, and this is very situational. We're going to cover this crouch hole. So, crouch hole like this, if you're not using your Hibana for the hatches or something like that, is very good for crouching in and turtle planting, right? This isn't the bomb site, unfortunately, so I can't actually turtle plant. But all you would do is walk into here. You're going to want people covering you, or have your Monty do this. That's even better. Walk in, turn around, and start planting, right? Just hold X. The only thing that's going to be exposed is the very tip of your back. But if you have people, say, holding here, so if this was reinforced, I would shoot another Hibana bolt, or not Hibana bolt, but another set of X-Kairos on this wall, just so that you can get a line of sight to help cover. So now you have somebody play over here. They have a line of sight if anybody wants to try hopping over this table or C4ing you, and you can get the turtle plant off fairly safe. If you do hear a C4, right? Okay, so if you do hear a C4, because they're going to, most likely there will be a mirror or someone will be running a C4 here. I promise you that. If you're playing at a high level, they will have a C4, because people are smart. So, if you hear that C4 strip, if anybody gives the call, what you're going to want to do is run and hit A. Okay, because this vault is going to take you farther away from this. That's why I always hit these computers off, even if I'm running Montag or Thermite, whatever. I hit those computers off so that I'm turtle planting. If I hear that C4 go down, I sprint, hit the vault, and I'm out of there as fast as possible, right? I get away from it there as quickly as I possibly can. But anyways, I just really wanted to cover that really quick because I wasn't sure if you guys would understand what I meant by turtle planting or a crouched hole like this. But anyways, we're going to head over to another map, and I think that'll be the last one for Hibana, and then we will get started on Maverick. Alrighty, so here we are on Skyscraper. We're now transitioning from Hibana into Maverick. So one of the big things when you're attacking T, you're going to want to try and get control of Geisha, right? You don't have to, but it definitely helps. And usually they're going to have this wall will be reinforced. They'll most likely have a bandit. If he's not banned, bandit trapping this wall. One thing you can do is run Maverick. So if you run a Thatcher and just a Thermite, the bandit is going to successfully bandit trap this if you don't have anybody go down below and blow the floor below him. If he's good, right? If you tried to do that against me, if you didn't blow the floor below me, you don't have a Maverick, I'm going to bandit trap the crap out of you and you're not going to get this wall open. So, something you can do, if you don't want to go below because that you're exposed to then roamers and anything like that, is all you're going to want to do is just come here, start left to right. I'm going to stay crouched. You don't have to lay down for this, right? A lot of people think, you know, because they're making a hole at like foot level that they have to lay down, but you really don't. All you have to do is just look down, and so this way you're not putting your head right in front of the hole. So we're going to go from left to right, and we're just going to cut a hole. Now, while I'm doing this, while I'm cutting this hole, it helps to have a teammate over here, or even like just right to the left of you, and all he's going to do is just shoot, right? He's going to give you cover fire, so he can even tap. As long as he's putting shots through this hole, the second you start cutting, so the very second I start cutting from left to right, he just needs to start shooting. Just put cover fire and tap and make sure he does the whole time you're cutting. So while you're cutting, he needs to keep shooting. And the reason you want to do this is because if a bandit is playing over here, one, you might get some free shots on here, maybe even a free pick. If he does see a Maverick and he's feeling, you know, kind of ballsy, he might even lay down and try and shoot you through this, which can be dangerous. But if you have bullets coming through, you're either going to hit him or it's going to scare him off. it's better than having nothing, right? It's better than nothing. Because the only really counter to Maverick, since he doesn't really have a hard counter because he's a trash operator, just kidding. But I don't like Maverick because he gets rid of bandit trapping, and that makes me mad. Because that's my favorite thing to do in this game. Anyways, the only kind of counter to him is to shoot him while he's making his hole. That's why when, say, you're coming up to a wall like Geisha, you don't want to make a hole right here in front of your head, right? Because you're going to get shot in the face. Even if, you know, someone's playing here and they don't hear the Maverick coming out, when you're playing against decent players, playing against better players, they're going to be expecting it, right? They've played this so many times that they know, hey, they're probably going to run a Maverick. He's probably going to try and make a hole here, and if he does, I'm going to be watching this wall and I'm going to shoot him in the face. At least that's what I would be thinking, right? If you try and make a hole here on me, I'm just going to quick peek this, pre-fire, and I'm going to shoot you in the head. So don't make a hole right here at head level. If you do want to make a hole in a wall, so say you do want to put shots through a wall, I would make one straight line, right? So I'm not going to show you guys with the blowtorch because I want to save my fire. Anyways, I would make one straight line across the wall, say from left to right. Make sure whenever you make a line or something like this that you don't stand right in front of it like this and go left to right. Do this. So that way the only thing that's going to be exposed while you're making this is the torch. Like, so if someone's standing, say, straight west of you, and they're peeking this line that you're making at the top, they're not going to be able to see your head, right? Not unless they run into this corner and kind of lean and peek you. But it's just another way to stay safe. But if I was attacking this, I would make a hole, like I said, at the bottom so that he can't bandit trap and have your teammate shoot through. Another little thing that you can do for Maverick, I'm sure if you guys have probably seen this if you watch Pro League, if you watch Coconut Bra or Bikini Body, is you can make a vault hole with this, or you can make a crawl hole. Really anything you want. I don't usually do this, so bear with me. I'm going to try and make a hole here. If it sucks, I apologize. I'm sorry, but let's just go for it. Reload this stupid thing. Maverick is an awesome op. He really is, and I give him crap just because, you know, I love bandit trapping. That's my favorite thing to do in this game, and the fact that he completely counters that kind of drives me insane, right? It makes me mad, and so that's why I don't give him enough credit, just because I'm salty. But so basically you can make a crouch hole or a vaultable hole. So I got this nice little crouch hole. Normally this wall would be reinforced, you know, and you would have a hole going in here. Just so if you're not running, say your Hibana dies or your Thermite dies or something, at least if you still have a Maverick, you can still kind of get a hole going through here. It's just, the problem with this is you're very exposed, and again, like I said before, you're going to want to always have someone giving you cover, right? You're going to want someone peeking the hole, shooting through it, or just anything. And even at that, like even then, if you're making a hole like this, and there's someone playing in Geisha, you're probably going to die doing it, or at least get lit up. But anyways, the best thing I would say about Maverick, besides being super quiet, which I know they're changing right now, they're working on changes in the TTS on PC, which is amazing because I don't think it's right that he can hard breach silently. That's not really fair. But one of the best things about Maverick is his versatility. So if you guys just noticed right here, I basically just did the job of Thatcher. So I countered the guy bandit trapping. I basically just did the job of Hibana and Thermite. You know, it's not the same, obviously. It's not as good, but it's still a hole. So I just did the job of a Thatcher. I just did the job of a Thermite or Hibana. And now if I really wanted to, if this was, say, pretend this is reinforced hatch, normally what you're going to do, if you watch Pro League or whatever, people will cut each edge of the hatch until it falls out. But because this is unreinforced, all I got to do is just fire that a little bit. And now I can basically be a Sledge, I can be a Buck, I can be a Zofia, because I just blew this hatch. And I can do it, I can basically be a Hibana and a Thatcher. Maverick is amazing because of his versatility. He's so many different operators, all wrapped up in one because of this blowtorch. This blowtorch is good for soft breach, it's good for hard breach, it's good for anything, honestly. Just making holes, kill holes, whatever. It's insane how much you can use this blowtorch for, right? So if you just wanted to make kill holes here, anything. But anyways, Maverick's versatility is super important. I hope that I covered your question here. I do play a little bit of Maverick. I think he's a cool op. I think he's got a great kit. I always run his M4 over his AR-15 simply because I think having a gun in Siege that has a higher fire rate and can shoot more bullets instead of a single fire weapon is a greater advantage, specifically because of the one headshot mechanic in this game. But anyways, we're done with Maverick. I know I didn't spend a ton of time on him, but I hope I covered any questions you guys might have had. We're gonna head over to Reliable, pop a Thermite, one of my favorite operators in this game, and we're gonna finish on that. Last but definitely not least, we have Thermite. Pop a Thermworm, my favorite hard breacher and my second favorite operator in general. So first, is Bandit. Bandit and Thermite are my most played ops by far, and for a good reason. I love the interaction that they have between each other. I love bandit trapping, and I love the Thermite juggling, right? So first things first, we're going to cover why we're up here in Cafe, and why we're staring at this hatch. So normally, if they're defending train and mining, this hatch will be reinforced. Someone may be running a Cade, right? Now one thing that you can do if you don't have a Thatcher is you can actually put your Thermite charge down next to a hatch, right? So if you put your Thermite down here, make sure obviously that the edges are not touching the electrified hatch because it will break your exothermic charge. You put these down right like this, blow it, there's that classic Thermite sound, and it blows the hatch along with it. So even if this hatch is reinforced, because you put the Thermite charge within close proximity to it, the blast radius will in fact blow the hatch. And so if this is Cade trapped from below, so Cade has a Cade on it, Electro Claw, and it's electrified, if you blow right next to it, it will blow the hatch, and it doesn't matter. But one thing, hold on, I gotta show you guys this real quick. One thing that can happen if you are putting your exothermic charge on the wood like this is it can get shot off. So if the Cade is paying attention, or if someone in here is paying attention and they see your exothermic charge going off, they can shoot through the floor, and they can actually shoot it before it blows up, and then you won't be able to get the hatch, which in that case, you're in trouble. So good bet is to either run a Thatcher, or what you can also do is if you have a sledge or a buck or something, you can just make a ton of holes up here, basically get rid of this entire floor, and then you'll be able to see everyone in sight, right? So you'll be able to see everyone, and if there's someone who's trying to shoot off your exothermic charge from around here, you're going to be able to get a line of sight on them and hopefully kill them before they can do that. But if you're going to do that, if you're going to make, blow a bunch of kill holes up here in the ceiling, don't obviously make the holes right around the hatch, because the Thermite then will not be able to put it down, right? Like if this floor is already blown open, I can't put my Thermite charge down here again. It just doesn't work like that. But something I just really want to cover really quick. Like I said before, Thermite is one of my favorite operators. The downfalls to him is when he's using his ability, he's extremely exposed, right? That's why he's a support character, When he's blowing up a wall, he has to stand here, go through this entire animation just to get it done. And that entire time, he can't shoot, he can't move, he can't do anything. And you're very susceptible to getting shot in the head. So, obviously, you're going to want to clear around you. You're going to want to cover your back, anything like that. Thermite can put his charges both crouch and standing. The only time I would ever put it crouched is if, say, you're behind cover. So say if, I'm behind this bar and I'm worried about someone coming down these stairs or anything like that, I would stay crouched and I would put my Thermite charge down. Your hole won't extend up as far to the ceiling, but you'll still have a pretty decent sized hole. That's, again, one of the pros to Thermite, is he has the largest hard-reaching utility in the game. So his holes will always be larger than Hibana's. They'll always be larger than Mavericks. And that's something that's specific to him. Another really big thing is that he's fast with his ability. So his Thermite charges, when they blow up, they're very fast, right? There's not a lot of time for you to bandit trap it or whatever. Basically, if you're not putting down the bandit battery as I'm putting down my exothermic charge, you're not going to get it. And whereas Hibana, hers takes some time. There's a lot of development for her X-Kairos to go off, and that's something that they changed to her to make her not as powerful. Maverick, he just burns a little hole, if you want to blow a larger hole, that's going to take more time than, say, Thermite. So pros to Thermite: he makes bigger holes. He makes them faster. Cons: he's exposed. Maverick and him are both very exposed when when using their ability, whereas Hibana makes smaller holes. Hers take more time, but she can do it from safety. One thing that you guys are going to want to have equipped in your settings, here, I'm just going to show you guys how to do this really quick. A little while back, a couple updates ago, they changed the default to toggle. So you want to have your gadget deployment set to toggle, right? The other one is hold, which is garbage. You can't bandit trap well, you can't use Thermite well if you're holding hold. So again, like I just said, a few updates ago, they made the default toggle because it's just better, and here's why. So if, say this wall is reinforced, there's a bandit playing behind it, he's bandit trapping this. One thing I can do is I can start my animation, and that sound, you know, that little like the little, you hear that? Like when the exothermite charge goes down, if there's a good bandit trapper on the other side, he's listening for that. And the second he hears that going down, either in his right or his left ear, then he's going to start bandit battering that right or left wall. And then, so one thing you can do is, you can start that, and then go over to the other wall and blow that. So you can kind of give a misdirection. You can go back and forth as many times as you want, and as long as this wall is not electrified and you don't go completely through the animation, you'll never lose your Thermite charge, right? So it'll never get destroyed. And that's one really big thing to having your gadget deployment set to toggle, is that you can cancel your ability. It's so huge. All you gotta do is just stop holding X, and it cancels. So much better than having hold, where once you start this X, you're done, right? So it just goes through the animation. There's no way you can stop. Really big thing for bandit trapping and for playing Thermite is to make sure you're using toggle. That's really the last tip I had, you know, for this. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Sorry it's so long, but, you know, hard breachers hold a special place in my heart, and I really wanted to make sure I was thorough and covered everything that I wanted to in this video. So thank you guys for the questions. Again, if you have one that you would like answered, please leave it in the comments below or send me a Facebook or Twitter message. Until next time, guys, as always, most importantly, never forget, stay cheesy.